Okay, so how many siblings did you have? Which number child were you, and what were their names and ages?
I had 5 others. There were 6 children. We grew up together. Um, in a manner of speaking, there may have been 7. My father put together a family org chart, and apparently there was another child when Shirley was born.
Really?
Was stillborn or something, yeah, Robert or something like that, yeah.
Wow.
But we always call it 6, anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what were all like the names and ages of them?
For the most part, until you get to Paul and Joni, but the 4 of us used to be like 2 years apart. We used to line up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Fitzpatrick's yard over there. Say our age.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like 2 years, pretty much 2 years between us. Shirley's usually 2 years. She's yeah. Then we hit that overlap where there's a 1 year there between November and October.
Mm-hmm.
So the others must be roughly a 2 year difference, anyways.
So it's all basically just like a 2 years, like consecutively, kind of.
Yeah.
So what number were you?
Second.
Oh, so you're fairly one of the oldest.
Second. Yeah.
Yeah. And where did you live while you were growing up?
Somerville. Columbus Ave, Somerville.
Okay. And
that was, that was the earlier days.
Yeah.
And kids
So
were kids.
And you moved, you said.
Yeah, but I mean that was different than today and everything.
Right.
Yeah, I used to be out sunrise on my bike, and then when everybody else got, we'd play games on the street, baseball, stickball, something you played on the street.
So you lived in kind of a more suburban area with a big neighborhood, or?
Well, it was standalone houses.
Mm-hmm.
They were close together, and it was the Murphys. I don't know, 7 or 8 kids over there. A lot of kids.
Were those your neighbors?
Yeah.
Were they like, kind of like your best friends, or were they just?
The ones we played with mostly.
And they had how many kids?
They really had any best friends.
8?
There was some. They had I don't know. They had a lot.
Yeah, seems like it.
But there was they had uncles that lived upstairs, and my parents' house they rented most of the house. I was sort of honeycombed.
Hmm.
And it was weekly rentals.
Weekly?
Yeah.
So
back then it was a little different than, today and everything. And,
yeah.
So he went through the spectrum of troublesome ones and everything else. I think one of your tenants is in the bushes down there.
That's funny. Must have had some weird people.
Yeah.
And what was your mother like? And like, what sort of role did she play, kind of like in the household?
Oh, thank you. Well, she was the boss lady.
She was.
Well, we didn't see my father that much. He was the intimidation factor.
Mm-hmm.
If you wait till your father gets home, and because he'd go to work early,
right,
and come home late, and then happiness was the Thursday nights when he went over to Navy Reserve.
So, you said she was the boss, so she kind of ran the household, but she wasn't necessarily the authoritative figure.
Right. She took a step back, and then he was sick of him. She.
Mm-hmm.
I hated it. He was tired. He's pointing at something. Someone would get between him and the chair, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And what was your relationship like with her? Or what was she like with all your siblings?
I was thinking the other day, I don't really remember that much about her. We all got together, friendly. It was different. Her brothers, she grew up on the other side of the hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the other side of, up Walnut Street and over the other side there, down below the library is where she grew up.
So not that far.
So she still had 2 bachelor brothers. I mean, they were stopped by all the time.
Yeah.
Joe would stop by from work, and Larry, most part, always worked nights. He'd stop by. Yeah. We always had a dog. We always liked to wash the dog.
At your house?
Yeah, well, they had downstairs. They used to have those big, deep soapstone
Oh yeah,
sinks there that are good for it.
that's funny. Just bring over his dog. And
Mm.
so you said before that you and your friends would like play in the streets, kind of.
Yeah,
So what was that like?
it was just stickball. Just
Just like on weekends, you kind of just get up and go.
no, that would be during the week. I mean,
Week,
that was,
week
yeah.
two,
No, that's during during the right weekends, I guess. Yeah,
right?
I was thinking during the summer, because it's a summer,
Oh yeah, that too.
summer thing. Yeah,
So what games did you normally play? Just
stickball, which is a form of baseball. We use a stick and you hit something.
did you play with all your neighbors?
Whoever wanted to play. I mean, we didn't. You never limited things. So, you start a game and whoever comes out plays. Yeah,
Seems a lot funner
yeah.
than today. And what about like on rainy days or days you couldn't really play in the street? Would you play ever like inside your house, or was it too small?
I don't know. We'll do something. I mean, I don't even think we had a TV when we were younger. Younger. We got a TV. They just started coming out with this little circle thing.
Yeah. Probably like this big.
Yeah.
How old
yeah.
were you when you got that?
I don't know. I think it was before we moved to Arlington anyway. So I don't know. Maybe just start in high school. So I don't know. Maybe
Probably
I don't know,
15.
9, 10, maybe even younger.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what were the meals like in your household? And like, what foods? Like, did your mom cook the foods? Was it always home cooked or?
Oh yeah. It's always. I mean, that's all you had back then.
Right.
Used to have the milk van came to your door.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's so cool. What was that like?
They have a little thing. We had a thing outside and a little breezeway type arrangement, and you leave the bottles up there. Here's a little container. You leave, cream and milk, and he just filled the ones. Replaced the ones that were empty out there.
That's so interesting. We don't have that.
The thing I find interesting too is I remember back then that I used to take bottles. The sodas they had.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to take it back down. Recycle.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a nickel there.
Oh yeah, you collect as many as you can and just bring them down.
Well, just what we had in
Yeah.
the house. But every now and then, someone would have to take it down. So I'd fill up my wagon and take it down because we just up the street from the downtown area.
Yeah.
Fill the wagon up and take it down.
You get a few nickels.
And my father used to recycle. He used to have all the newspapers. He used to dump them. He used to have a pile downstairs, all clothing. And every now and then just filled the car. Put all the clothing in a big sack and take it down to the junkyard.
You just toss them.
No, junkyard. They give you so much per pound on it.
Oh, that's a good source.
Papers back then too. I mean, they took the papers. I don't know what they did with them back then.
Right, but they just took them anyways.
Yeah.
And did your family like say grace at your meals, or was it just kind of everybody sit down and eat when they wanted?
Everybody just sat down.
So it wasn't like a serious manner. It was just kind of
Yeah,
casual.
yeah.
And was your dad home for dinners?
That's what I was trying to think. He probably went. He worked late a lot of times. So he did.
Late as in after dinner, or like by the time you went to bed, or?
I'm not sure. But he wasn't that structured because he was facility maintenance or
Yeah.
whatever, engineering there. So they had to do projects and stuff. They were, people gone. People were using equipment. So
Yeah.
couldn't do a little of the off hours.
So pretty late, yeah. And do you remember the name of your like elementary school?
Well, that was St. Joseph's.
St. Joseph's?
Yeah.
And that was in Somerville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Union Square.
And it was just the public school?
No, that's parochial school.
It was?
Yeah, they had a boy and a girl building. Yeah.
Really? What was that like?
It was like hell. Prison camp.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Did they have the
The nuns
The
they had.
nuns?
The nuns they had. I mean, they took turns beating you up for all kinds of
oh my
reasons.
gosh. With their rulers?
Yeah, the rollers. Yeah,
That's funny.
they'd beat you. And then we had Severian